Welcome to this introduction to the globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals, commonly referred to as the GHS. It gives you an overview of the role of hazard classification and hazard communication in chemicals management. Furthermore, it presents the benefits of GHS implementation and how to access existing data on substance classification. One of the outcomes of the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro 1992 was a mandate to develop an international hazard classification and labeling system for chemicals. While a comprehensive scheme for the safe transport of dangerous goods, including chemicals and mainly covering acute hazards, was in place, an international and harmonized hazard classification and labeling system to promote the safe use of chemicals at the workplace or in the home was lacking. The objective was formulated: a globally harmonized hazard classification and compatible labeling system, including material safety data sheets and easily understandable symbols, should be available, if feasible, by the year 2000. The purpose and benefits of the GHS are to enhance the protection of human health and the environment by providing an internationally comprehensible system for hazard communication, provide a legal framework for countries without an existing system, reduce the need for testing and evaluation of chemicals, facilitate international trade in chemicals. The GHS was developed using some existing systems as a basis, including the UN recommendations on the transport of dangerous goods and legislations in Canada, the EU, and the USA. The technical focal points for completing the work were the International Labour Organization, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and the Subcommittee of Experts on the Transport of Dangerous Goods. The work developed during a 10-year period and was completed in 2001, and the initial version of the GHS was published in 2003. Since then, the GHS has been updated every second year. The GHS is available in all 6 UN languages. In 2002, the World Summit on Sustainable Development in Johannesburg encouraged countries to implement the GHS as soon as possible, with a view to having the system fully operational by 2008. The GHS contains internationally harmonized criteria for classification of chemical substances and mixtures by type and severity, considering physical health and environmental hazards. The GHS also proposes harmonized communication elements, such as labels and safety data sheets, to make users aware of the hazards of the chemicals they are exposed to. While governments, regional institutions, and international organizations are the primary audiences for the GHS, it also contains sufficient context and guidance for those in industry who will ultimately be implementing the requirements which have been adopted. The GHS can assist in developing national or regional legislation on hazard assessment and labeling of chemical substances and mixtures. Some of the legislations that have been developed based on the GHS are sectoral, such as those targeting the workplace sector. Others, such as the CLP regulation of the European Union, covers all sectors. The benefits of implementing the GHS have been highlighted by bodies such as the European Chemicals Agency, where the Executive Director in 2022 underscored its importance as the true backbone of chemicals management, and its importance cannot be underlined enough. Highlighted in a recent synthesis of the GHS cost-benefit papers commissioned by the International Council of Chemical Industries, the US Occupational Health and Safety Administration elaborated on hazard communication. The basic goal of hazard communication is to ensure that employers, employees, and the public are provided with adequate, practical, reliable, and comprehensible information on the hazards of chemicals so that they can take effective preventative and protective measures for their health and safety. Thus, implementation of effective hazard communication provides benefits for governments, companies, workers, and members of the public. Benefits of implementation of the GHS for governments include improved protection of workers and the public from chemical hazards, fewer chemical accidents and incidents, lower healthcare costs, avoiding duplication of efforts in creating national systems, reduction in the costs of enforcement, improved reputation on chemical issues both domestically and internationally. Industry also benefits from implementation of the GHS. It will lead to safer work environments, with fewer accidents and illnesses and reduced associated costs. Improve relations with employees. increase efficiency and reduce costs in compliance with hazard communication regulations, facilitate market growth and trading, maximize use of expert resources with minimum labor and costs, improve corporate image and credibility. Workers and civil society are other stakeholders that benefit from classification and labeling of chemicals according to the GHS. It will lead to improved safety for all handlers and users of chemicals, as well as an increased awareness of chemical hazards, both in the workplace and domestically. According to the ICCA synthesis report, the global costs associated with exposure to harmful chemicals are great. Thus, the economic benefits from preventing such exposure are significant. There is significant evidence that the benefits of implementation of the GHS far outweigh the costs by a factor of 3 or more. And for many countries that have yet to implement the GHS, the costs of implementation will be even lower and the benefits even more substantial.